Well, the channel has reached over 50,000 subscribers, and we appreciate everyone who has stuck around for our wacky antics, whether you've been here for 7 years or 7 minutes.
Thank you for the subs.
So to celebrate, we're going to follow up on an inside joke that we've had since our last subscriber special for 2,000 subs, where we covered the top 20 characters with hair manipulation powers. We told ourselves if we ever reached 50,000 subs, we would do a sequel list of another 20 characters that fight with hair manipulation, not only because it's a surprisingly dense topic, but because we got about 20 more suggestions of characters omitted from that list in that video's comment section, showing that we barely tapped the potential of this topic.
Top 10 20 hair manipulators, the remix, part 2.
That's right, we double our normal top 10 list power for these specials. Also, we thought it would simply be a fun challenge to open up this topic again for a subscriber celebration.
I mean, there are really so many characters, we could do top 50,000, one for each subscriber.
No, that's too many. It would take like weeks, and hey, here are my co-hosts, Negative X,
Bam Bam,
and Judgment Meter.
Hey guys!
Same rules for this list as the last one. The characters simply have to fight with or have some utility that involves moving their hair as if it's an extension of their body, anywhere from extending it, grabbing with it, making it dangerously spiky, healing with it, etc. Also, we won't be including the original 20 characters from the first list, otherwise we would just be remaking the last video, even though I'm sure some of our opinions have changed since then.
Who's on the old list?
Well,
I don't know, it's like 10 years ago.
normally I'd say watch the last video to see what we ranked, but we made that in 2015 when my audio quality sounded like this.
Well, it looks like this channel has just reached over 2,000 subscribers.
Negative X's sounded like this.
Yeah, I want to see her in a lightsaber versus her hair fight. My money's on her hair.
And Judgment Meters sounded like this.
Somebody save the net! Somebody save her, please!
We were younger then, guys. We didn't know what we were doing. I'm older and wiser now.
So since it's a special occasion, we'll do a recap of our last 20 if you don't want to hear our past selves. 20 was Entrapta from She-Ra, the original, because the new She-Ra did not exist when we made that list.
Now I can talk about how much I love her and her bouncy purple hair and her cute little overalls, and now she's like, blah, blah, new tech, blah.
This is just the recap, save the energy for the actual list.
She has a stain on her shirt, which is cute. It's like a heart.
19 was Medusa from Marvel Comics, 18 was the Witch from 47 Ronin, 17 was Rapunzel, 16 was Iron Vest from Once Upon a Time in China, 15 was the Mustache from The Tick, 14 was Minatsuki from Dead Man Wonderland, 13 was Heike from Super Punch-Out, 12 was Jade from Mr. Vampire, 11 was Shantae from Shantae, 10 was Flare from Fairy Tail, 9 was Queen Beryl from Sailor Moon, 8 was Bayonetta from Bayonetta, 7 was... Wait, did I just say Bayonetta was at 8? What were we thinking?
Yeah, why did we not put her as number 1? Was it because we were idiots?
Yeah, retroactively I'm switching Bayonetta with whoever was at number 1. Anyway, 7 was Sedusa from the Powerpuff Girls, 6 was Sindel from Mortal Kombat, 5 was Milia from Guilty Gear, 4 was Philia from Skullgirls, 3 was Yura of the Demon Hair from Inuyasha, 2 was Bobobo Bobobo from Bobobo Bobobo, and 1 was Ni Chang, the white-haired witch from the Forbidden Kingdom, which I think was us trying to be unique at the time.
Definitely should have put Bayonetta up there.
It's a good movie, but yeah, I decree that our past selves were wrong, and Bayonetta is retroactively number 1 on the first list. Now, let's see who can follow that up on our top 20 characters with hair manipulation powers, volume 2. Heh, it's like a pun. Number 20, Spice from Dragon Ball Z. In anime, if you run long enough, you'll eventually have a hair manipulator on your roster. However, Dragon Ball Z did not really prioritize that power over other anime trope powers. We got that one woman from the Dragon Ball GT movie, and we got Spice, leader of the team, the Spice Boys, which is late 90s localization at its finest. They were just called like the 4 Demon Kings in Japanese, and worked for Garlic Jr. in his filler arc. No one really cares about correcting their English names often, since they're in some of the least popular filler in all of Dragon Ball Z. see. There are some things I liked about the Garlic Jr. filler, but the Spice Boys are pretty standard goons.
I mean, I'm shocked that the Spice Boys saga is not the most popular. Because, it knows what you want. What you really, really want. It's like, we wanted it hot, and they gave us this.
Spice, or Cashew to use his non-dubbed name, has pretty generic attacks, as do all of them. But he surprised us by pulling out some hair manipulation, which he uses to grab, and that's about it.
I see here he's grabbing a small child with his hair. That's definitely brave of him.
Hey, Gohan's not just some kid. He's one of the strongest fighters in the universe.
I mean, yeah, but the police aren't gonna know that. No, he's one of the I swear to God, he looks like a child, but he's one of the most powerful creatures in the universe. Yeah. Tell it to the judge. I like how his costume is specifically cut out so you can see his six-pack. He worked for that, and he's gonna show it off.
Show it off. Show it off.
Spice also has a buffed up form where some of his clothes rip, but not the clothing that borders his six-pack.
Where's the red guy?
He was the first one of the group killed off, sorry.
It's okay, I wasn't too attached to him anyways.
Number 19, Morgan from Darkstalkers. One of her light attacks is poking you with her hair. It's just a little nudge. It hurts like a standard punch. I'd normally find it impressive that she can stiffen her hair ever so gently, but Morgan is a Darkstalkers character, where everyone can morph their body into all sorts of crazy shapes, so her hair manipulation is pretty mild compared to everything else she can do. She's capable of twisting her body into drills, spikes, blades, a bunch of sharp things, so those body properties simply apply to her hair too, just not as extreme.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, she just has body manipulation, and hair is one of the things that she can manipulate.
I like where her wings go like in front of her. Don't touch me!
But what do you think about her hair attack?
It's there too.
She's a classic video game character. She made it into Marvel vs. Capcom because she's so famous. Everyone knows Morgan. Hey, you know Morgan? Who? Exactly.
Yeah, at the very least, Morgan's hair attack is memorable because Morgan is the character people remember the most from Darkstalkers. Or more, she's in so many Capcom crossovers that people know her as that Capcom character that's from a game that Capcom has yet to revive. Number 18, Mistress 9 from Sailor Moon. Mistress 9 is an ancient demon that influences people to serve her. She was reborn dormant in Hotaru, who would eventually become Sailor Saturn, and then Hotaru proceeds to have the most tragic backstory that she can. She has a demon fighting for control of her body, and her scientist father is working to awaken that demon after eating some evil egg, and her father experiments on her by giving her metal knees and other cybernetic enhancements which were initially needed to save her life, and she has the burden of having the duty to destroy the world if it's overrun by true evil, and she has no friends, and the kids pick on her at school. I think I got it all.
They stole her pocket planner.
Any other comments on her backstory?
Be careful what eggs you eat. Not all eggs are good.
What eggs should you eat?
Cage free.
Wait, I'm gonna roll this back a little bit. Did you say she gets metal kneecaps?
Yes.
Man, thank God she's a skateboarder. That would make a lick of sense.
Anyway, when Mistress 9 emerges from Hotaru, she gets a lot of hair, which should have been our first indication of where her true power lies. She has other mystical powers too, but the first thing she does when she comes out is the old grab and strangle maneuver with her hair. It's not the most unique attack, but it's effective with her mass amount of hair. If Queen Beryl didn't do the same attack a few arcs ago, only with electric hair, I may have been more impressed with Mistress 9, but she has plenty of other abilities to amaze us. Number 17, Nenki from Basilisk. Nenki knows that most of his strength relies on his hair, so he makes sure his hair is plentiful. He apparently abandoned his trimmer since he has a full layer of chest hair, long grungy hair on his head, unkempt eyebrows, and an obscene amount of nose hair. That's not a mustache.
Oh, that is not my favorite. That's a lot of pressure on your nose.
I hate how much nose hair he has.
You seemed fine when Bobobo did it.
Yeah, because that was a little more groomed. That was like two big hairs. This is like two bushes.
When Nenki starts manipulating it, the hairs get all stiff and sharp to really make his excess of hair feel grosser. Even the way he grabs with his mane of hair is all disheveled, as the hair goes in all directions when attacking. He's a bad guy too, so I can't even say his looks are deceiving. Number 16, Midna from The Legend of Zelda.
And I love this useless hat. It hides her power. When you see someone with a hat, you don't think they're going to hit you with hair manipulation. Then all of a sudden, you get hit by their hair manipulation.
Midna's hair manipulation is pretty limited, just being used to grab and throw. However, she does it by forming a giant hair hand, so she uses her main skill creatively. I appreciate it. It can pack some punch for such a small character.
Oh, she's so cute. What is she?
She's a species of character indigenous to Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. She actually has a more humanoid natural form.
No, I like the little one.
But
Itty bitty chibi little one.
what does the little one have that the big one doesn't?
Doggo!
That's actually Link. He can turn into a werewolf in this game.
Oh, I like that. He should stay like that. Wolf, doggo, ruff. That is my canon.
Number 15, Niche from Tagami Bachi. Her hair is longer than she is, so she can take a break from walking if she wants to and just have her hair do all the work.
She's cute.
Her main tactic is forming spiked tentacle things, but she can also form larger constructs after watching her sister do it, who has many more advanced hair techniques and probably could have taken this spot on the list if she had the main character status of Niche.
Ooh. She is very attractive. Good fashion choices with hair. Good job. I may be watching this too.
If the big hair formations don't have some form of utility, then they can at least crush you with their giant mass. Still, Niche can go back to her humble roots of hair manipulation if she wants to, and just use the hair to simply hold silverware.
That's a pretty unique use of your power. Most people wouldn't do that, because, if you get soup with a hair in it, it's disgusting. But having hair with soup in it, delicious meal.
Number 14, Show from the Macaruna Makendo 2 OVA. So when I was researching Macaruna Makendo 2 for when I streamed it, I learned that there was an OVA that expanded on the story. It was just half an hour long and had no follow-ups, so it's kind of like the bottled up essence of a 90s magical girl anime if you just want a taste of it or a blast of nostalgia instead of investing in a full series. It's a fun watch. When the villain's goons attacked the magical girls, Sho, the blonde one, struck first, and I was like, oh, that's a cool design. I wonder what she'll... Oh my god, her ponytails are blades! And then they spin like a giant fan when she's idle.
It looks like those farmer tractors that pick up corn and grain and stuff. It goes munch, 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 munch.
Oh my god, it's like a propeller. It's like she watched Indiana Jones and decided to fight based on that. She'd be a great airboat captain. If the boat ever breaks down, she's got her hair for it.
See? Everyone loves it. She may only do a few repetitive attacks, but that spinning hair was enough to get her on this list. Number 13, Godiva from DC Comics.
Does she give everybody chocolate?
No, she just named herself after the historical figure.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, when I first searched this, I got a bunch of naked ladies, so I never finished my research.
Godiva's hair is an all-around useful tool for her. It's one of those powers that can do anything it wants if it works with the plot or fight going on. Sometimes she can use it to fly, other times it can pick locks, and when in doubt, it can just grab and throw her enemies like any good hair manipulator.
She's also pretty interesting because she actually doesn't use her hair to lift things. She uses physics to create gaps in between her hairs, which allows her to lift things. So she's not picking it up. It's like she's magicking it up.
More like sciencing it up. But I like how they give her hair powers an explanation beyond just saying all the strands of hair move autonomously as most hair manipulators do. They mix it up.
There's a scene from a comic where she's yelling "leave 'em be" while holding a weapon and a guy's yelling hair, and I really think that represents the entirety of this character.
Number 12, Dixie Kong from the Donkey Kong franchise. It's spin to win for Dixie Kong. Her ponytail has full movement, giving her the ability to flex it and throw objects, or spin around to fly like a helicopter, or just descend slowly when she jumps. They're just a couple of simple skills, but they're a vital part of Dixie Kong's playstyle.
Honestly, flying with your hair is an underutilized hair manipulation power. I can't think of any other character who flies with their hair.
Well, there's that one guy from Brutal Legend, and then there's...
You're probably going to name like 8 right now, but you know what? It's too late, because I couldn't think of him at the moment. Number 11, Bruford from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Phantom Blood.
Dio's vampire powers weren't very consistent in Part 1, so one of his many abilities was reviving people from centuries ago as vampires. He revived 2 knights, Bruford and Tarkus, with Bruford being the vengeful but still honorable knight who could also fight with his hair.
The other guy was just like, oh, I'm angry and big.
Why is he the only guy who can do this when given vampire powers? Who knows, but he's not even the best hair manipulator in JoJo's, so let's give him as much credit as we can. Besides the standard grabbing things with his hair, he can actually suck blood with it, which is a cool way to combine this power with his vampiric nature. Gotta keep nutrients flowing through that hair to keep it strong. He's also an adept sword wielder, which he combines with his hair as well, giving him an extra limb to swipe his sword while his hands remain free.
Honestly, it just makes sense to use your hair manipulation powers to hold a sword. It increases your effective range. Look at his hair, that's definitely at least 4 feet.
Bruford is pretty forgettable in the JoJo's lore overall, even with the hair, but he'll always be regarded as the guy who gave Jonathan his sword and had an interesting way of customizing it. The sword is named Luck, and he cuts his finger and puts a P in front of the word luck on the sword to make it a different word.
Now it's Pluck. I gave it a new name. It's yours now. What a nice boy. I love presents.
He's like, I'm gonna give you this sword with the special insignia. It says luck. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I appreciate that. He's like, but no, I'm gonna make it better. And he adds a P. He gave him a pluck sword. No one's given me a pluck anything. He's a lot nicer than I would be, especially if someone just killed me. I'll have turned that bad boy into the pluck sword. But he went with luck, because he's a class act.
A shame that such a thoughtful guy and a master of the English language was killed off so quickly.
Yeah, it's okay though. His memory will live on forever. I mean, and to be fair, the first JoJo didn't last that much longer than him.
Number 10, Extendo Hair from My Hero Academia. It's a superhero anime and he has super powered hair, so he uses it for a plethora of hair attacks.
We actually meet this character when they're doing the provincial licensing exam, and he's a very powerful character. He actually gets his provincial license, unlike many of the other characters from rival schools. Although they don't really focus too much on him. The hat really ties it all together. He's got pants, so you know he's not flashing anyone. And he's wearing a belt. Is it holding up his pants? We'll never know, because it's a little high. But the hat. As far as a superhero costume goes, the hat is an underutilized piece of equipment. Everyone has masks. No one just has a little hat on top of a shirtless body. I bet he has a six-pack under there.
Oh, he's kind of cute though.
Would you pet him?
I would want to, but that might be inappropriate, so I would ask first.
Number 9, Shiro Magi from Zettai Karen Children.
Oh, this guy has a nice little beard. I hope that's what he's manipulating, not his lovely long hair. I hope it's the little stubble.
Unfortunately, he does not subvert our expectations by using the less prominent hair on him, but he does put on a show by creating full wings with his hair. The in-universe explanation is that he can use carbon in his body to weaponize his hair with psychic power.
You think there would be other things he could do if he's, like, controlling carbon, not just control his hair. We can do a lot more with it.
Ooh, I like him. He's attractive. Maybe I should watch this.
He never flaps the hair wings, so I feel he can levitate without them and just likes how they look. Plus, it's efficient when he doesn't need to flap them because he can use the hair for more practical things when he's flying, like grabbing guys from buildings with his hair and then slamming them into the wall. How resourceful. Number 8, Twintel from ARMS. Her giant pigtails can punch you in the face from across the arena. What else do you need?
When she's in a boxing match, though, can she use her regular arms as well, or does that count as cheating?
It's a game called ARMS, and her main fighting style is not her arms. I think she was already cheating. But yes, she does slap you with her normal hands too.
I mean, once you're cheating a little bit, might as well cheat some more, am I right?
I very much like her mask.
It's like, you would never recognize her on the street, except for, you know, maybe her hair. But, you know, no one would do that. It's like the Clark Kent glasses. Except if he always had a Superman chest thing on his chest. Who could she be in real life? This lady with, like, 8-foot long hair that's white and red? No, couldn't be.
She just needs to invest in a really strong hat that can engulf all her hair, and then no one would know.
Do people have to get their arms cut off to participate in this fighting, or does everyone just have paper arms? She's the only one that didn't sacrifice her arms to be able to do it.
Number 7, Yami from To Love Ru. She was one of the most suggested characters I saw for this topic in the comments section of the first list, and I can't really argue with that when I look at her powers. While she does have the standard body manipulation like Morgan, being able to turn her hands into blades and whatnot, she can also do that with her hair, and it's much better than her other powers. use. She has the standard hair manipulation attacks of extending it, but she can also transform her hair into anything, like blades, or to differentiate it from her body manipulation, she can form creature heads on the hair, like dragon heads. Her hair can go full on Hydra if she wants to. Though, I like the simplicity when she just turns her hair into a set of fists. It's not the first time that we've seen hair do that, but I like how she looks like she's ready to throw hands with anyone when in this form. Those hands look like they're ready to deck you more than her normal fists. A viewer also claimed that Yami could cut the earth in half with her hair, which is enough to get her a high power ranking for us, but when looking at the scene where this happens, it appears it's just a basic giant energy blade when she does this, so I'm not sure if I can just credit her hair for doing this. Though it is zoomed out when she does it, so I can't tell what the blade is attached to. Why not go with it? Yeah, her hair can split the entire world in half.
Yeah, I live on this planet, but you know what? I don't like this planet. Hair, destroy it. Woo!
You know you're gonna have to pay for that. Destruction of public property.
Number 6, Palm Shiberia from Hunter x Hunter.
She's a little creepy. We're not gonna hold that against her.
It's fine. She gets better as the series goes on and is more just a creepy lady who carries herself in a not very approachable fashion.
Oh my. I don't like that picture.
This picture look any better?
No.
How about this one?
No. Now that I see what's happening, no.
This one?
Oh, she looks okay. She looks like she could be a mom. No, not a mom. Not a mom.
While the hair is naturally stringy, since that's her preferred aesthetic, it does have a role in her power-up move. The hair forms an outfit around her, which helps enhance her aura and defends her from attacks. Overall, this hair is more defensive than offensive, since it completely wraps itself around her and appears to be very sturdy, but it still helps with her physical attacks by sealing and channeling her aura throughout her body. Plus, the hair can shape into a normal outfit. It could have just been a jumpsuit of hair, but she was able to make it a fancy dress and hat instead.
Those are very specific things she can do with her hair. Using it for fashion. I'm gonna make a wide brim hat with this hair. Or a dress, haven't decided which one. Looks like she also makes high heels with it.
Hey, if Bayonetta can do it, she can do it. Let her have her fun.
If someone cuts her dress, does it mess up her haircut once it's done being like a dress? Does it look like she just got a total hack job on her hair?
I don't know. Why don't you try to go get in there and cut it, champ? Number 5, Kumadori from One Piece. Kumadori has the power to move around and stretch all his body parts internally and externally, even going so far as to control the food that he digests after eating a bunch.
I wish I could instantly digest food, then I'd know how much would go on my hips instead of just guessing about it.
His favorite part of himself to manipulate, of course, is his hair. He does some of the classic restraining methods with it, but he uses it in combination with other skills. He'll poke you with his staff or throw fire at you while you're in his hairy grasp. He can just fight with his hair if he needs to, though, since he can unleash a barrage of punches with it, like the hair forms about 100 perfectly crafted fists. I like that they have full finger movement too, so he can dramatically point at you a bunch.
It's also a pretty unique color of hair. You don't see a lot of hot pinks there, or I guess pale pinks, like a cherry blossom pink. He's also very, very pale. This show's about pirates, right? You'd think he'd spend some time in the sun.
Number 4, Coma Berenices from Saint Seiya. This hair just gets everywhere. Coma is a minimalist, only needing to use a few strands at a time to take on someone. They extend on their own and have a tight grip for something so thin, but it can go beyond that, as the hair can heat up and burn through anything when given the chance.
So, like, he's trapping people with his hair, but he doesn't need to, because he could just burn them to death with the hair.
Well, he can't just target the heat. He needs to get a hold of you and then let the heat build on the hair.
I can't imagine. It's like, haha, I'm gonna tie you up, cool, with lava. Excuse me? Couldn't you just kill me? Feel like we're just like taking a long road for something we don't need to. Let's take the shortcut here.
The burning from the energy in his hair was a good counter in his fight against the ice guy of the Saint Seiya group.
No, not Swan Boy.
What problem do you have with his fighting style?
Well, he looks like a bad guy because he's fighting at Hyoga, and I like my swans all intact, thank you.
Number 3, Yukako from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable. On the surface, Yukako looks like she'd be your standard grab and toss hair manipulator, but when digging into her powers, they're pretty extensive, only held back by her appearing seldom after her introductory character arc. While everyone can manifest their fighting spirit in the form of a stand at this point in the series, Yukako received a stand that is just a part of her physical body, a contact stand. It's called Love Deluxe, and it basically exists to give us another hair manipulator in the series, since it never shows its true form, letting Yukako do all the work. Beyond just getting a hold of whoever she needs to with her hair, she gets creative. She expands it like tendrils to turn it into a real horror show. No one can hear you scream when she's got a hold of your tongue. She's a master of restraining, but she's also a master of traps. She can tactically leave strands of hair behind and connect them to something lethal, like a furnace, or just leave clumps of hair behind in someone's drink if you want just a little revenge.
Imagine having all this power. You can move your hair, and what do? Ruin a guy's drink, just because you can.
Or she can just make her hair flow naturally if she wants to look radiant.
Beautiful lady! Look at that fierce girl and posing and that hair, that face, what a oh, bad memories. Let's skip that one.
Yeah, she did kidnap Koichi to make him her love interest and make him study, but she got better when she got her own story arc.
All things considered, if someone kidnapped me who was like, you just gotta read these books and be smart, I guess I wouldn't be complaining too much. You're like, yeah, fair enough.
But if he got questions wrong, she would make him eat gross things.
Oh god, it's not poo, is it?
Yeah, no.
Oh man, this is quickly devolving.
My favorite Yukako moment was when she used Aya's magic makeup and her face was deteriorating because she didn't apply it as directed. So she goes into Aya's salon and slams Aya against the wall with her hair with no transition after walking in. And then Aya just stands up to no-sell what just happened and said, "Did you apply it every half hour like I said?" Well, no, that's kind of hard. That's why it happened. Damn it.
It's her whole body. The whole body. Oh, I forgot about her. Oh, poor lady.
Number 2, Jiraiya from Naruto. Jiraiya is one part wise elder master and one part cliche old man anime tropes.
He's the pervy frog dude. That's what Naruto calls him, not my words.
Hey, it's a toad, there's a difference. But besides having various toad-themed attacks, he also must be part porcupine, because those hair needles are basically quills. He shows us how well those two animals can work together.
Yeah, well, they're kind of similar to each other in the fact that both amphibians and porcupines have blood, and they reproduce. They're both vertebrates, so that's pretty cool. He's sticking them together.
The hair needles are useful whether they're attached to his head or just projectiles. Shooting them is always fun, but I like that he can extend his hair and make it a very painful spiky grab. Or he can create a spike shield by cocooning himself in the overgrown hair. If you think you can penetrate this shield, you'll end up with a bloody hand. I also like that there's an explanation on why his hair grows outside of just saying it's unexplained magic. He pumps it with chakra to increase its metabolism for a burst of hair growth briefly.
The one bad thing about this guy having this specific power, where he has to hit you with porcupine-like needles, is that he can't use hair conditioner. It'd make it too soft. He's just going straight shampoo.
If he's able to have a little fun when fighting, he might even do a dance to swing his hair around like he's in a kabuki show.
I mean, couldn't he just do that without the dance? It seems like the dance is an unnecessary component he's adding to this for flair. I got nothing against showing off, but I also have a lot of things against showing off, which this guy clearly is.
Honorable mentions: Eve from Black Cat. She actually was the inspiration for Yami from To Love Ru, so hopefully giving more credit to the imitation on this list, actually giving her a spot, is the best form of flattery. Carrera from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, JoJolian. She's the alternate universe version of Yukako from Diamond is Unbreakable, and has hair powers too. I would say she's just an honorable mention because this list can't handle 2 Yukakos, but it's really just because I still have to read JoJolian and I didn't want to spoil it for myself. And finally, Rapunzel from Tangled. Wait, didn't we have Rapunzel in general on the first list?
Well, we had old Rapunzel. We didn't have Tangled Rapunzel. Tangled Rapunzel is different. First of all, she can beat you with a frying pan, which is actually pretty useful. She's a lot more of a useful princess than the old school Rapunzel. And she can also heal people with her hair, which isn't really touched upon too much. Just think, she could cure all diseases just by living her life.
Did she keep that power?
So at the end of the movie, when she cuts her hair, she actually loses the power to heal. deal with it. Which is actually a really sad thing when you think about it, because she could have saved so many lives. Luckily, the magic flower, though, is willing to keep her lover alive, who she beats with a frying pan. Love is complicated, people.
We finally made it to the end after twice the amount of normal entries. So who concludes this journey on our subscriber special? Well, it's someone who probably should have been on the first list, but at least he can say he got number 1 on A list, even though I'm theoretically ranking him at 21. Anyway, number 1, Sunny from Toriko. He already has a good base for being a hair manipulator right off the bat, since he has an absurd amount of hair. Like, if he couldn't magically control it, the mass to that hair would still hurt on its own if it hit you. Before even looking at the battle utility of it, that is the most unique hair color you'll find on this list.
Ooh. Oh, I wish I had rainbow hair. Oh, it's like Lisa Frank on crack. Or just regular Lisa Frank.
It's gorgeous, although I can't imagine the maintenance on that. I know people who dye their hair and they're always having to do something. This guy's gotta keep it fresh every day. I'm too lazy to have my hair like that, as well as, lacking the beauty component.
His hair is actually naturally rainbow, where each color has a different role in helping him analyze beasts around him. Blue is for cold, pink is for hot, green is for pressure, and white is for painful stimuli. However, with great power comes great pain. If his hairs are damaged, he will feel the pain as if it was an attack on his body directly. Though it's a good risk-reward, because the attacks he's capable of when he releases his hair tendrils are overpowering and amazing.
Ooh. Oh, looks like what's the Naruto thing called? Nine-Tails Fox? Six-Tails Fox? Seven-Tails Fox?
You were right with 9.
Nine-Tails Fox?
Alright, let's rocket through these attacks. The hair can slice and dice, it can make hundreds of needles, it can create a hairnet, nice wordplay. The hair is a great counter move capable of doubling the power of an enemy's attack right back at them. It can create a heavy platform, puppet strings too, it can fly, it can create a full-size tornado, and it can perform surgery.
Although I wonder how that would work in real life, because, surgery has to be a very clean environment. Would his hair glove up to perform the surgery?
Well, it's really just surgery in name only. He more closes up wounds that are already open using quick hair motions. He has not opened up someone and reconstructed bones or anything like that with his hair. Finally, he can summon his appetite demon through his hair, which is something all the main characters have. He just channels it through his hair, so the hair can do more than just punch. It's a giant monster. His ultimate hair power is where it turns gold, and it's game over for everything when that happens. It's impervious to all attacks and is overpowered. So overpowered that the demonic energy that fuels it will take him over if it's active for too long, which is why he's mostly just rainbow hair over gold.
Get away! You're done now. We've done with this fight. No, but I just learned how to live and think. Too bad. Don't make me miss the conditioner. Some people think you get a nice oily sheen. No, it just becomes a demon.
Look, he's a businessman. I personally like the rainbow better.
So, with the sheer amount of hair attacks and style beyond our basic human comprehension, Sunny from Toriko takes the trophy for this edition of us ranking the best hair manipulators. Now, what did you think? Did you like our entries? Were there enough hair manipulators that we did not discuss on either list that could make for a third edition of this topic someday? Let us know in the comments. We appreciate everyone who has subscribed to make this special a reality, and we hope that we get a chance to do one for 100,000 someday. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and we will see you in the next video.